Trucker Dump for May 5th, 2009, Episode 17, Truck Dispatchers.
Welcome to Trucker Dump, where you'll get one driver's insights and sometimes humorous views of truck driving and the trucking industry, and pretty much anything else he feels like dumping on you. This podcast is brought to you by AboutTruckDriving.com. Resources to help you understand the world of truck driving through the use of stories and a pathetic attempt at humor.
Well, hello to you, the lonely podcast listener. The person who's so bored that you find yourself listening to this. Todd McCann here. Hey, what can I say? I'm kind of glad you're bored right now. I gotta get you folks listening somehow. But now that I've got you, let's try to rid you of this boredom. And let's do so with a few words about truck dispatchers. And to guarantee you don't get rebored, it's a shorty. Enjoy. Okay, I admit, I promised to post on dispatchers a few weeks back. Then I promptly forgot. I'm getting forgetful in my old age. So before I forget again, here it is. A blog post on... What was it? Oh yeah, dispatchers. Dispatchers. Fleet managers. Fleet supervisors. Whatever creative names they want to call them, they're still dispatchers. And when truckers say that word, there's usually a look on their face like someone just farted, or they've just tasted something sour, or perhaps both. Gee, that's kinda gross. But is this reaction deserved? Well, they sometimes have to be the bearers of bad tidings, but they usually aren't the folks who are at fault. In years past, they might have been responsible for all of the driver's woes. For some small companies, they might still be. But as for the largest of carriers, this just isn't usually the case anymore. A dispatcher's job is to do all the daily tasks that need to be done to keep the drivers moving. They make sure we have correct pickup numbers for loads. They answer any questions we have about company policy, how many miles a trip paid, and they arrange relays with other drivers who are trying to get home or can't make a delivery for whatever reason. What they don't do is control the driver's destiny. When it comes to bad news, they're simply the messengers. So who's to blame? Well, if you're pissed about the load you're getting, the responsibility lies with the planners. Salespeople obtain loads from shippers, and planners are in charge of doling those loads out to the drivers. But rather than dealing with the drivers themselves, they give the load to the dispatcher. If the load is a good one, the dispatcher will never hear from you. But if it sucks, most drivers unload on the dispatcher, which, as you now know, isn't to blame. Again, they're just the messenger. If you're cheesed about the way certain things are done at your company, again, your dispatcher's the last person to blame. The company makes the rules. Your dispatcher is just the unfortunate soul that gets to keep you in line with those rules. If you don't like the rules, your only immediate choice is to whine to him or her. It's doubtful that you've got a direct line to the CEO. But your dispatcher isn't always in the clear. Even though they don't make the rules and they don't have much control over your loads, they do have control over one thing: their attitude towards you. There's no excuse for a dispatcher to make you feel like a pile of dog crap. The way they tell you that you're getting a crappy load is very important. If they act like they don't care, then you're not going to be very happy. Likewise, if they don't seem concerned that you think a rule is stupid, that's not good either. In short, you should remember that your dispatcher is not the only person who is responsible for making you a satisfied driver. So stop and think the next time you feel like you're getting the big old shaft. Make sure that you figure out who's at fault before you start chewing on someone's rump roast. Well, that was shorter than the line at the wheatgrass smoothie bar. So what are your thoughts about dispatchers? Head on over to AboutTruckDriving.com, type TD017 into the search bar, and leave your comments. Or, if you'd rather, you can shoot me an email at truckerdump@gmail.com. While you're at the website, be sure to subscribe to either the written blog or the podcast, or both. And if you haven't left a review in the iTunes store yet, please go on over there and lie for me. The more reviews I get, the more people will notice the podcast. Also, if you're not following me on Twitter yet, well, that's just wrong. I'm at Todd McCann over there. That's 2 D's, 2 C's, and 2 N's. Thanks for listening. So until next time, drive safe and stay out of my way.